Hello, my special, very, very special friends. Welcome back into the deep, dark depths of the Neon Gutter. My name's Burt Cohen. We're freshly returned from a recent trip to the city of Las Vegas in the state of Nevada, where we took on another insane challenge. With our favorite low roller casino, the Poker Palace, on the verge of closing, we decided to spend 24 straight hours there and soak it all in, literally. As always, I'm with the maniacs who conceived of this challenge, Matt.
Hello. And let's rephrase that to say not our favorite low roller casino, but our favorite casino. Also, spoiler alert, we're all still talking to each other. That's
true, including my other co-host, Dan.
Yeah. Bert, if you wouldn't mind, just tell Matt that he can go fuck himself.
Hey, Matt, I got something to tell you.
Did I hear a fart in the wind?
Don't let me forget to tell you. I got a message to pass along.
I didn't mean to be quite so rude to my friend Matt here, but yeah.
Oh, I'm quite used to it.
So, Matt, now this 24 hours in Poker Palace was really kind of your idea. So tell our audience why you thought that spending 24 hours in the grungiest casino in town, one that doesn't even have a hotel, would be a good idea.
You say grungiest, I say friendliest. We originally planned...
Both things can be true. Both things can be true.
That's true, and I think they are. But the more objectively true one is that it is the grungiest. I originally conceived this as a dare for our friend Stevie Fineprint. I dared him to spend 24 hours at the Railroad Pass, which at the time seemed almost reasonable because there was a crafts fair going on with a lot of macrame and cross-stitching to admire. So you could spend 24 hours out at the Railroad Pass. Railroad Pass got rid of their live games, so that dare was out. And then I realized I love the Poker Palace. Would I still love it after 24 hours? And I became quite insistent about it. And you guys quite frequently brushed me off. But I think after a while you realize I wasn't going to stop bringing up spending 24 straight hours at the Poker Palace.
Well, too, like there's a lot of things you instigate, Matt, and then don't do yourself. Like, I still think there's a standing $5 payout for the first person who whips it out and pees under a craps table. That's never been collected.
Yeah. $5 under the craps table, $10 on the craps table.
On the craps table. But this one This one you actually were going to do yourself, too. So there was something about... Yeah, but I think your idea, the Railroad Pass, it's got to be at least 15 years ago. So this has been brewing for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll just say that I genuinely was not looking forward to doing this, even though I agreed to do it. I was not looking forward to it. Dan, what kind of expectations did you have going in?
Yeah, I was with you, Bert. I was not looking forward to it. I thought it was going to be a real slog of just hell. I figured we'd arrive late at night, crabby with each other, probably stay crabby all day, lose at the poker tournament because we'd be too tired to play, and then end up bickering and probably by the end of the night being in like the three farthest parts, it's like far away from each other in the casino by the end of the night. Pretty easy to predict that was going to happen.
And that's exactly how it went. But all of that was much more fun than you thought.
Yeah, I guess that's... Yeah.
It was definitely more fun than I thought. But let's just give a brief overview, because I think many of our listeners, if not all of our listeners, have never been to the Poker Palace. And maybe they've heard about it. Maybe they even haven't heard of it before. Matt and Dan, why don't you guys just paint a picture of what makes the Poker Palace unique and why do we kind of love it?
I'll draw the picture and let Dan fill in the colors because he's better at that. It's a small locals casino in North Las Vegas, probably 3 miles or so north of downtown, on Las Vegas Boulevard in a low income neighborhood, and that's the demographic it serves. It has been there since the 70s. Most of it has not been renovated or repaired since the 70s, it appears. It is in rough shape, but it does have 3 blackjack tables, a functioning poker room, a sports and race book, a restaurant, slots, a non-smoking slot area, and a bingo room. So it's a full-service casino with no hotel, open 24 hours a day, and it's go ahead.
From the outside, it looks like I was going to say it looks like a palace. It looks as far from a palace as a building can, but the theme is palace. There's like the neon lights are in kind of fenestrations or crenellations, or whatever you call that. There's an awning that has maybe about 85% of the light bulbs working. The big letters, Poker Palace. And inside, you look around, there are chairs with cigarette burns, big chunks taken out. There's corners of the casino that just seem to be there to collect trash or dysfunctional furniture. A lot of holes in the ceiling. The bingo room is full of stains. It's super dingy. But the people who come and go, it's locals.
Yeah, it's locals. One theme that's very common with a lot of the people we meet there is they're lonely. They're there because they're lonely, and this is their community center.
They
want to talk. They know each other. They know the dealers. Everyone there is super friendly with each other and with us. After they give us kind of the stink eye and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And you start talking to them, and they just open up, and then it's sometimes hard to get them to stop talking.
To stop opening up. That's right. It's true. It is very like a community center.
Very true, and we'll get into more of that. The unique place that Poker Palace is and the unique clientele that it attracts as regulars. But before we get into the 24-hour challenge, let's just talk really briefly about our arrival in town on Thursday evening, the night before we started the challenge. It was a big boxing weekend, so rooms were not exactly cheap. We ended up at Main Street Station downtown, which was the cheapest place we could find downtown.
Well, the cheapest reasonable place that we could find downtown. We avoided some places that, because of the Fremont Street experience, we knew we needed to be able to sleep. So we avoided some places for that reason. So yeah, and I was totally delighted by the Main Street Station. Very basic rooms, but also very clean and highly functional and nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Main Street. I think it's a little long in the tooth now too. It was a lot sort of nicer in quotes, when we were going there 25 years ago and taking advantage of the buffet and the pub and stuff. But it's still a pretty cool place, actually. So that night we all met up. When I was the last one to get into town, we all met up at the top of Circa. So that was kind of an interesting experience too. We hadn't been up there. Talk to us a little bit about the bar.
Well, that's a good secret thing for our listeners. If you just waltz into a place, they won't usually turn you away. There's I can't remember what it's called. The club, the Circle
Legacy
Lounge.
Club.
There you go, the Legacy Club.
Yep, Legacy
So
Club.
you find the old statue from the Crazy Girls, which is this bronze sextet of women's butts, basically. Women and their butts that are all polished to a high shine from years of being fondled by the likes of us.
Us.
And by us, only us. Yeah, and so if you turn to the right, you find there's a little podium and elevators up to the Legacy Club, which is the top of that amazing building that is the Circa, and you can go right up there. Probably best to go up there unless you're going to dress nicely. It's probably best to go up in the day when it's not crowded. Drinks are amazingly reasonable for a place that's so classy. We each got a beer, and you get to look 360 all the way, all as far as you can see over Las Vegas. So cool place to hang out for a while.
They've got some bronze busts, not just of the Crazy Girls, but also of some of our heroes like Bob Stupak and Jackie Gone and a number of other
and
legacy casino owners, Benny Binion, and some interesting busts on the wall as well.
And portraits too. Busts and portraits as well.
The busts are pretty crummy. The portraits are a little bit better. The
Agreed.
busts, good luck figuring out who they're busts of.
The busts are like cartoon versions of them. It's really, they're kind of badly made.
They look like Batman villains.
They do. They look cartoony, exactly, Batman villains.
But I will disagree with you. You can go up at night in shorts and a t-shirt, because I did the night after you guys left, and it's a great view at night with spectacular views of the Strip and everything, and you can see Poker Palace from up there.
Yeah, I did notice a sign that said we recommend Dress to Impress or something like that.
Oh,
when you go,
I did.
Clearly, if they're not busy, they relax that particular. It's probably not even a rule. That suggestion.
You might get a worse seat. You're definitely, if you want to sit down at night, you need to get a drink. During the day, you can just go up there and just sit down and hang out, really, for as long as you want. But at night, it's busy enough that they have someone seating people. And so when we went up at night, we just kind of wandered around. We didn't grab a table because we weren't allowed to.
All right, let's get to our challenge. Now, we left Main Street Station at 3 o'clock in the morning, or we met in the lobby at 3 a.m. and then arranged an Uber.
Incidentally, at 3 o'clock in the morning, Main Street Station was fully lit up, all the slot machines running, and we saw one person.
One.
In the entire casino playing a slot machine. So dead.
Yep. By the time we got to Poker Palace and walked through the front door, it was 3:22 a.m. And there were a few people hanging out in the parking lot, but very few actually in the casino itself. How did you guys feel at the start as we began our 24-hour clock to tick?
I felt bad.
I felt sleepy for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely tired.
Yeah, Dan and I had a bad Mexican meal the day before, and I think Dan's stomach hadn't settled yet from that. It was not a good meal.
I
because
was going in
Tacos El Gordo
hobbled.
was closed. I was surprised that there were other people there. There weren't many, but there were other people there, and that surprised me. And I was also surprised that it didn't raise anyone's eyebrows for three guys who didn't look like Poker Palace customers to be wandering in at 3:20 in the morning.
Yeah. I felt hobbled going in with my stomach just really acting up because I had nachos and then we had a burger the night before, and I just was like, could not sleep. Also had some beers, which I don't really drink anymore. So I'm like, I felt like I was going in with a handicap. So I was not happy at 3:22 in the morning.
And what he described is what I eat when I'm on a diet. So I felt great.
So at 3:22 a.m., as you might imagine, a lot of things are not running except for the slots, and the bar was open.
But there was like 8 to 10 people in there.
And the pit boss was still there.
Yeah, the pit boss was still there from the night before, and there were a couple people at the bar and a couple security people
I felt like
working there, and some people in the cashier, behind the
there were some players too.
Slots. A few players.
Yeah, a few.
Certainly more than there were at the Main Street Station.
Yes.
One of the funny things was we talked to people. We talked to the bartender. We talked to Angela, the pit boss, and said, "Yeah, we're going to be here for 24 hours." And none of them raised their eye. What they said was, "Oh yeah, a lot of people do that. They don't have anywhere else to go, or they live here, except they'll go home for a couple hours to sleep and then they're right back." And she reeled off a list of people that show up every single day and play all day at Poker Palace.
I wasn't sure if they quite believed that's what we intended to do.
That's true.
I don't think they were believing. Yeah, they might not have believed it. There was somebody too not playing, but in the bathroom, in the men's room, in the middle stall. So he was there when we showed up.
And he was still there after a few hours later.
Well, I was going to call that back later, but yeah, he was on that toilet at least 5 hours.
Yes.
So I'm guessing he was asleep.
So it was kind of fun in those early hours when there weren't many people around. And we could sort of explore the casino like to our leisure. We could almost go anywhere in every little nook and cranny and corner without, a locked door, of course, and really check the place out from top to bottom. And that was kind of fun, actually, as we were just trying to kill time.
It's true.
Yeah.
But then we eventually hit the bar and started just playing some 5-cent video poker to just try and kill some time and
really
keep
20
our
cent.
bankroll.
That was the minimum.
Really?
So
I just played. I played max coin, so I didn't even realize that.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
But I tried to play one.
So yeah, we played that for a while. We got Matt and I had some 4 of a kinds, which kept us going.
Yeah.
Dan did not, and I think
bunch.
you were getting a little frustrated.
I was
in those early couple of hours because Matt and I were kind of hitting the 4s of a kind.
And my stomach was still hurting.
Yeah, and you weren't feeling
I made
that
a
great
note.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, at about 3:52, I made a note that we only had 23 and a half hours left to go. So, yeah. The coffee was good. I was going to say.
Yeah, we had coffee.
The bar gave us coffee, and the coffee was good for sure. The first event that we were kind of shooting towards as something to just take up some time was the restaurant was supposed to open at 6 a.m. So we were counting down the minutes to 6 a.m. for breakfast. And when 6 o'clock rolled around, they were not open yet. And so, guys, explain why the restaurant did not open on time at 6 a.m.
Someone didn't show up for work. The cashier didn't show up, and they didn't have anyone else who could run a credit card machine or something. Because and she didn't show up for quite a while.
Yeah, and I was making a movie that this was like not just being late, but this was like the walkout. Like the cashier's like they're gonna close in a month. I'm just not going into work. Yeah. She left Las Vegas entirely, and like
I think she's like, what are they going to do? Fire me?
Right,
because obviously they don't have anyone to replace her.
Exactly. In the last few weeks here,
it was about 2 hours later. I'm like, she's not showing up. She's not coming back. You better call a temp agency or something.
So,
but eventually
she did show up. But before then, we decided to kill some more time. So we played some more video poker, not at the bar, but on the casino floor. And Dan, you hit your 4 of a kind, and
I finally hit a 4 of a kind.
So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, I got 1 compared to the bunch you guys got, but I was the one who took a victory lap. That was for all of us.
And that was on a 2-cent machine. Those nickel machines were just too rich for us, so we played the 2-cent machines. Too rich for my blood. This is also the moment where we're playing these 2-cent machines not near the bar and talking about our old college days when Matt and I used to do performance art, and Matt recreated a little performance art piece classic called Help, I'm a P, in which he rolls across the floor at the Poker Palace, mind you, in this case, and then kind of looks up pitifully and says, you deliver the line, it's your line. Help, I'm a P.
That's pretty much it.
I was wearing a green shirt, so it was appropriate.
Yeah, and how did the audiences react when you performed?
Well, exactly as they should, which is it's performance art, so you're not supposed to clap.
Odd silence. They were just
odd silence.
They just couldn't believe, and I think it's something they take with them for the rest of the day and think, my God, I haven't thought about these that way before. So that's right. And folks, I did get a tetanus shot, so everything's good.
Oh, good.
Excellent. That's good. That
high risk.
That makes me feel better. We were still waiting for the restaurant to open. Dan was thinking about actually ordering some DoorDash or something like that, and
we were getting close to that.
That was a good idea. Yeah, pretty close to like going. I know you weren't going to do it, Burt.
Burt said he was sticking strictly with the vending machine.
Yeah, I was going to do a hardcore Poker Palace. It wasn't against the rules to order DoorDash, but I was just going to go hardcore and eat out of the vending machine if I had to.
No.
For breakfast, he has to have some handicap hot pork rinds and a thing of tuna, because they had these foil packets of tuna.
Packets of tuna.
They did.
Would have done it. Protein. I had already located the local kind of cool coffee shop, and I was all ready to order, like French toast or something. I was really excited about it.
That's actually, it was a good way for you to kill some time, was to just look at
very true.
better restaurants around town that you could otherwise be eating at.
And at this point, my stomach had settled, and I was actually hydrating like crazy, so that helped. And then had a Irish coffee, which gave me a pick-me-up. So, I was getting pretty hungry at this point.
And I discovered on the floor a Soul Survivor slot machine, the TV show Survivor, which was a thing.
Yes.
It's still on, but it was a thing 15, 20 years ago, which was absolutely fascinating because it looked like they only had permission to use 3 of the hundreds of players in that game's permission. So there were just 3 players, and they didn't have permission to use hardly any of the iconography from the game. So it was just generic stuff like tropical flowers or coconuts, and then these 3 faces of 3 players from, I don't even know if any of them ever actually
season 1, right?
I think one of them is from a later season, but none of them are actually the winner, because the winners have enough money. They're not going to license their likeness to a crappy slot machine. Terrible slot machine, but I played it for a while, and I did hit like a Survivor spin? What was it called?
That's right.
Yeah, Survivor spin. You won $16. That was a big,
it was pretty exciting.
Payout.
I did not run a lap, though.
I will say the metaphor of playing the Survivor slot machine was not lost on me. It's 8:38 in the morning, and we have, a good
19 hours. Only
to
19
go.
hours to go.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Survivor. Yep.
That was when I felt just about my best. By about 7 a.m. I was awake. I was
Right.
feeling good,
Yep.
and things were
Sure.
the time was moving faster than I expected.
Yeah.
Time was definitely
True.
moving faster than I had expected. Absolutely. Yeah. We were having fun and laughs and
Yeah, this is gonna
is
be a walk in the
breezing
park.
by. Yeah.
Totally. It's interesting to narrate it now because we're now talking about 8:38. We're 5 hours in, and it feels like we didn't. Like talking it back, it doesn't sound like we did that much, but somehow.
Well, we took a lot of photos. We walked around a lot. We talked to a few
And we
people.
played a lot of video poker.
More video poker than I've probably played in the rest of my life.
I think.
Yeah, we went back to the bar and played even more, and that's where we hit
Yeah.
some big wins there.
Burt.
Burt
hit-
hit a royal flush
I
hit
for
did.
$200.
Royal flush.
A $200 royal flush.
It was a nickel royal
amazing.
flush, unfortunately, but I won't sneeze at it. It's $200 real dollars, so
Yeah.
I was very
It was
excited.
amazing.
I haven't hit a royal flush in decades.
I think
so I was
I won a
excited.
$60 four of a kind and like a $40 four of a kind. I had several four of a kinds.
Well,
really
you
good
had
ones.
in 10 minutes after my royal flush, you hit a straight flush.
I had a straight flush. That's right.
That's right.
And yeah, that was big. And I also had a terrible Bloody Mary at the bar. Came in a styrofoam cup,
Nice.
and it had the weirdest
At least they frosted
orange
the edge of
salt.
the styrofoam.
Yeah, they did, but it was
Salted it or whatever they did to it. Yeah. And the whole time we were there, the soundtrack was 80s new wave.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Which
don't know
is
if you
so
guys
fun.
I don't know if you guys noticed. I didn't enjoy the music.
So
I thought it was
pretty
pretty
much-
awful.
This is where the 5 hours went, is every song coming on and Matt going, "Oh, I hate this song," like making a snide comment about
every single
song for
song,
5
every
hours.
3 minutes.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
true.
this song is terrible.
We had to tell him to stop it, but he wouldn't. And then he found
we
ways
put a
to
limit
say,
on him of complaining about the music for every 30
And then
minutes.
he would say stuff like, "I have nothing to say about this song."
Can I sarcastically say that I really like this song?
Yes. And also, this is not a complaint, but I'm just pointing out that this is the worst version of this song.
Oh, right, that too.
It's just
You
an
can
objective
imagine it.
observation.
That
80s
went
new
on for
wave.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I would estimate that you guys. That's so insane because I would estimate at most 16 hours was complaining.
Before you tuned it out and finally got used to it.
I never tuned it out. About the third time we heard "More Than This" by Brian Ferry,
There you go,
I
yeah.
had enough. How many? We probably heard the whole Police discography. God,
We did
And
hear
they're
a lot
awful.
of Police. Yeah, we did hear a lot of Police. All right, so about this time, it's about 8:30, and finally someone shows up
At
to
last.
run the cashier station at the restaurant, and so they open up, and we can actually have breakfast.
we had almost given up, and I said, "Let me just go check and see if they've opened yet." And they had opened. And I came back, but I just wanted to make sure. So I asked the lady at the cashier. I said, "Are you guys open?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, of course we're open." Like of course. You know,
What a silly
what would you
question.
expect at 8:30? So then I went and got you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got seated and were able to order. I ordered the Players Special, which was 2 eggs and hash browns with toast. That was $10 flat, and a coffee. What did you guys have?
I had a ham steak, a massive ham steak
right.
that
The
I
size
got
of
through
a
a little
plate.
over half of it. Weird scrambled eggs and just pretty bland hash browns and toast.
And
Cheap.
I got the steak and eggs, which I asked for medium rare, but it's almost impossible to cook a 3/8 inch thick steak medium rare. So
Right.
it wasn't bad. They actually seasoned it quite nicely with salt and pepper, large black pepper, and eggs and hash browns. And we got toast as well. It was a lot of food. Not particularly good food, but it was a lot of food, and that's what we needed at that time.
It's not bad food. It's just industrial. It's like there's nothing, there's nothing great about it. It just gets the job done. But the dining hall is kind of tight and stinky.
It's
So it's not a very pleasant place to eat.
So let me ask you this. It's really run down and it is tight. Let me ask you this. Is it stinkier or less stinky than the casino?
It depends on the time of day. There were times when we actually had to evacuate out of the normal casino and go into the smokeless casino.
That's
'cause
right.
It was getting
That's
all
true. But it's a different stink because, like, in the dining room, it's like food stink. In the
Oh,
casino,
right. There's a grease to it.
It's
yeah.
a grease stink. Yeah.
Friendly staff, though. They were
Our
Friendly
waitress
staff.
was
so
wonderful,
nice.
and our waitress threw the cashier under the bus.
She totally
Because
did.
she came to work on time, and she didn't get any tips
Yes.
for 2.5 hours because the cashier
Yeah.
didn't show up.
And I will say that it was nice to eat breakfast. I mean, we killed a good hour and change in there, just taking our time.
Yeah.
So that was a nice way to think, okay, we've spent some more time. I'm counting the minutes at this point. Actually, not really. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good about the day.
Yeah.
Well, and we have all the fun stuff ahead of us.
Yes. We have plenty to look forward
And
to.
the man in the bathroom stall is still there after breakfast. So it's about 6 hours.
But we can hear him snoring, so we know he's alive.
Yeah. That was the other thing about the men's room. The stall next to him on the end, Matt discovered it first. Like, the toilet, it was installed at like a 20-degree angle away from the wall. So
if you sit on it, it's like, well, do I sit straight forward or do I twist with the seat? It's quite a dilemma.
put your knees against the wall. Yeah. And maybe it's so you can't fall asleep in there as easily.
Maybe.
Just
Yeah, I
saying.
didn't check any other ones. I just had to use the toilet once, and I'm thankful for that. However, one of my objectives on this trip was to use every urinal in Poker Palace, and I did use every urinal in Poker Palace.
Second that. I did the same thing.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
So about this time, after we did all our video poker and stuff, then it was coming up to 11 a.m.
Yay.
With bingo. That was one of our first. It's one of our first
Bingo.
activities of the day was bingo.
First live activities.
Yeah, and
Right.
I've never played bingo live. Have you guys played bingo before in a casino?
We
in
tried.
Vegas?
In the casino, no. Yeah, we used to try at Plaza, right?
No, I mean, if you flash back to a few episodes ago, we tried to at the Palms. Was that it? There was a
Oh, no,
promotion?
Gold Coast. We tried to.
Gold
we had
Coast,
thought we were
right.
going to get
Oh.
to play for free.
For the $39 a day trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to do
Yeah.
it at
So
at
I've never
Gold
done
Coast.
it.
No,
Yeah, I
but
never
I
done
got to
it
tell
either.
you, this was eye-opening, and I've never felt so in over my head before in a casino.
Yeah, truly.
It's been a long time since I went into a casino game and did not
Yeah.
really have any idea what
Right.
was going on.
Because everybody else there, like Matt was describing, are locals who play there a lot. So they showed
play
up.
there all the
They were
time,
queuing
yes.
in advance. Like the door opened at maybe 10:40, and
They
there
all
was
have
already
their
a
favorite
line
seats
outside.
and stuff
Yep.
that they to
Yep.
get to, and yeah, they
Which
don't want
I'm
anyone-
guessing Burt sat in one of their favorite seats.
Yes,
I think so.
I'm guessing I got one of their favorite bingo boards too. But
So there's two ways to
I'm
play.
positive.
There's two ways to play that. You can do it on paper like you're used to, daubing each number as they call them, but they also had a stack of computers, so you could actually just load up a computer with a bunch of cards. But the first game we played, the computers weren't booted yet, so everyone played on paper.
Right.
yeah, and we had to buy daubers out of the vending machine and stuff, and then we sat down and some nice employees. Again, the employees are very friendly there. They helped us out and gave us some tips on how to do what we needed to do and know what we needed to know for each game and stuff.
That one, you were on the end, so you got the brunt
Yeah.
of the instruction. That one lady was pretty demanding of you. She was not impressed with your style, and she let you know it.
Yes, but
You
it
were
was tough
daubing,
love.
right?
She wanted me to
Yes, it
succeed,
was. It
and
was
so
tough
she
love.
was not. She did not want me to fail.
And a gentleman behind us would like tell us when to switch to a new sheet and what we were trying to achieve in this game.
Right. This is good to remember. Like, we had no idea that you play multiple games on the same sheet. So
Right.
first you go for one bingo, then you're going for two bingos, but you're using the same
Jobbing
charts.
it twice, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if anyone wants a dauber, call our stink line. I'll send you a dauber.
For cheap.
I took the daubers
Hardly
home.
used.
Yes, lightly used.
Lightly used
And-
dauber if you like one.
I had a bigger sheet than you guys, so I had to do
Yeah.
more daubing. I had to track the numbers more often. It was a little bit of a slog to really concentrate on the numbers.
That's right. Burt had
Yeah.
his head down, just
Yeah,
like
he
stamp,
was
stamp, stamp,
serious.
stamp.
And as always,
had to be.
size matters to Burt. He always likes to point out that his is bigger. His bingo sheet was the biggest. He had a rainbow
Well, you did have
sheet.
a bigger dauber than I did, so
I
I was
did, yes.
I was feeling a little
Yeah.
down about
a
that.
girthy dauber.
That's the name of my new band, Girthy Dauber. I love that.
So Dan and I had the $5, the cheapest, which is called the Blue Pack, which is just, I think you have six. You have six. Bingo cards for each
At
game,
once.
and there are 14 games. Yeah, and Burt's had what, 12?
12.
Yeah.
And he paid more
The
for it.
Rainbow was 12.
It was like $9, where ours was $5.
I think mine was.
Yeah.
I paid $10 for that and
10.
the double dauber. So was that
Okay,
an
yeah,
extra
the double dauber was
$1,
$1.
Yeah,
The
so,
double
it was
So
9
I was
plus
noticing
1,
this because eventually I did play a rainbow card. It's a savings to upgrade and
Right.
get 6 more, but it is so much more stressful that I don't think it's worth it. I wouldn't do it again.
Well,
Well,
and
it
they
might be
kinda,
worth it if you get to the end and the last game where you have to cover all the spots. That's called the
right.
coverall, which I'd heard before. But if you get to the last game, the coverall, that's where the big jackpot is.
Yes.
And which
You'll
I
never guess.
did not know about before, but I ended up calling bingo, and they said
Burt
you won
called it.
$1,000.
Burt
And I had
won
no
$1,000
idea.
bucks.
you got to point out that every prize before that, that was the 13th out of 14 games. The first 12, the prize was $50, and you could hear people grumbling in the room every time they didn't win. And this is and the locals were winning. The 14th game was also $50. There was one game that was $1,000.
Yes.
That's right.
It was only $1,000 because they called so many numbers. Like it gets to a certain point and then it becomes like a jackpot. And so I had no idea that $1,000 was even possible because all these other winners were getting like $20, $30, depending on the color of
And
their
a lot of them
their
were
ticket.
getting multiple bingos for a single game, so they'd have to actually split the pot.
Yes, and they have to split.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you had a 100x investment on your bingo.
Yeah.
It was
100
incredible. They just
times.
came over and paid me $1,000 in cash, and I had
undies.
no idea that was even possible. But
And
it was-
if looks could kill,
They probably will.
yeah, nobody in that room.
there wasn't one person happy for me, including the two guys on this podcast. and
Absolutely.
the rest of the
Because
clientele.
In the vending machine, I had seen a single plastic knife rolling around there, and I was really considering at that point investing in that knife, and because you had won the Royal Flush and then you won the $1,000.
It's true. I was on a heater for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Burt was kind of like the guy who wins the lottery. All of a sudden, nobody likes him, but everyone wants a piece of him.
Kind of.
So all of a
have
sudden,
to
all
say,
those distant relatives come out of the woodworks when you got $1,000 at the Poker Palace.
I actually thought it was really exciting. That was
It
really
was
cool.
awesome.
It was exciting. It was very exciting. And but one of the things I told to both Dan and Matt as soon as we left the bingo room was, don't start talking about how I just won $1,000 in the bingo room and hit a royal flush,
So,
because I
of
don't want
course-
people knowing I'm walking around with $1,500 cash in my pocket. And so the first thing we did is go to the bar for a glass of water.
Yes.
And what did you say, Matt? Someone said, "How did you do
Someone
at the bingo?"
asked, how'd you do at
Yes.
bingo? And I'm not going to lie. So I said, he hit the jackpot. He won $1,000.
It was
and
not
I said
more
it
than
in
30 seconds after we just had that discussion.
I said it in a very quiet voice so that only everyone within 30 feet could hear. Yeah. But so as I want to point out, you guys made a friend because of your $1,000. She didn't start out as your friend, but she became your friend.
That's true.
And I got attacked by two little old ladies who looked at me and said, "I'm watching you." And I said, "I didn't win. He did." She goes, "Well, I'm watching all of you." And there was a lot of resentment towards Burt.
There was, and rightly so. I mean, some
You didn't deserve
dumbass
it.
coming in there who's never been there before, never played the game before, has to be told how to play the game multiple times, and then wins
and
the
then hits the
jackpot.
1,000.
Yeah. If I was one of them, I would also be very upset. All right, on that note, we're going to take a quick break so I can count my winnings some more. But when we come back, we're going to eat again in the Poker Palace Cafe. We'll bet on sports, play blackjack, enter the big nightly poker tournament where one of us was wily enough to make it to the final table and into the big money. How much did he win? Stick around.
What is this, some kind of a joke? You guys brought me to a bingo game? This is different, boss. Skittle bingo. You gotta shoot for numbers.
You shoot for us, get it?
Who asked you? You gentlemen come to play?
Move it.
You're in luck. There's a seat open.
You see, boss, you shoot the small ball for the letters and the big ball for the numbers.
G8. Hey, I got it.
Good, boss.
I5. Hey, I got that one too. Okay, now I shoot. I4. That's it. Bingy.
The name of the game is bingo.
Change it. Scapple bingo by Bango.
It's Skittle Scuttle by Bango.
Who asked you? Scuttle Ringo by Bango.
Wrong. It's Skittle Scuttle Bingo.
That's what I said.
That's right, boss.
Who asked you? Scuttle bingo by Bango.
Is that it? You asking me, boss?
Yes, I'm asking you.
That's it.
Who asked you?
What about Bingy Bingy?
I like it. I like it. Who asked you?
It's Skittle Bingo by Aurora.
And we are back in the Neon Gutter, or more accurately, we're back in Poker Palace because we're not even halfway through our 24-hour challenge yet at this point. So once the morning bingo sessions ended, we bet on some baseball to entertain ourselves. And Dan, you're not the biggest baseball fan, actually. How bored were you in that sort of time?
I love the San Francisco Valkyries. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. What was I doing at this point? I think I was taking a lot of notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were watching baseball. That's where I started talking with this woman who had met us in the bingo parlor and who had at first been very jealous and made it known. But then she just started to hang around, talk to us, talk to me. And then she kind of cornered me while you were watching and betting on sports and told me all the hot goss in the going on in the bingo world. She is a retired government employee in Las Vegas and goes there every day and plays bingo in other places as well. And, you know, one of these kind of lonely people that Matt was describing who kind of just wanted to be heard. And I was listening, so she kind of talked my ear off for a while, but very pleasant person, a delightful person.
Yeah, very nice.
And
she was smart enough. Yeah, she was smart enough to hedge her bets. She didn't plan on making all her money gambling. She had other plans.
That's right, because she kept not winning at bingo and all her friends were. So she would position herself in the bingo hall or else at her favorite slot machine in a place where it looked like the ceiling was falling in because there was a few spots like
There's a lot of those spots, actually.
Yes. So she was kind of hoping like some chunk of roof would fall on her. Not too big, but just large enough so she could sue the Poker Palace and make some money that way. That was her gamble. That's
those deep Poker Palace pockets.
Right. It's like, come on, this is your favorite place. You don't want to sue them. But you know,
the EV on falling ceiling tiles is pretty good for the player.
It's pretty good at Poker Palace, yeah.
Pretty good at
Poker Palace. They have very liberal rules on that.
Yeah.
We'll put some pictures up. There are, for real, holes in the ceiling, a lot of peeling wallpaper, a lot of places where it's just kind of literally falling apart.
Yeah, holes.
Yep. So Matt and I are big baseball fans. We've been on baseball. My heater continued. I bet on a number of games throughout the day and kept winning. And my favorite team was playing too, so I could just watch the game, and enjoy the game as well.
Not my favorite team.
No, definitely not. So you bet against me as you often do.
Yes.
But I ended up winning, so that was not a great bet for you on that particular one. But it was still nice to hang out in their sports book when it was actually staffed. I think that's the first time we'd seen it staffed. It looks like they are only open like 9 to 4 p.m. Each day.
Yes.
And then
they
very
close very
up, so
limited
we hadn't
hours.
seen them open before.
And once the sportsbook opened, several people came in just to hang out and bet on races and sports. I would say there are a dozen people.
It was busy a lot during the day.
It is not a pleasant place to sit and watch a game. You're talking about a meeting chair, if you go to see somebody who has a get rich quick scheme at a hotel or a motel. It was those kinds of chairs, and I'm very familiar with those. And
or the alley behind that kind of place where they've thrown out those chairs. Those are the kind of chairs you're sitting on.
So it's not a pleasant place, but and they only have what, like 32-inch TVs or something, but it's still a place to watch them, and they do take race and sports bets.
I was starting to get pretty surly at this point because I had been losing little bits of money here and there, a few at the video poker, lost money in bingo, kept betting with Matt, who kept losing the sports bets that I bet with, and then winning the ones that I decided not to go along with.
I made some money because I piggybacked on a bet with Burt, and then I made a spite bet against a team I dislike. Even though they were 2-1 favorites in the game, I bet against them and they lost, which was wonderful. So I actually made some money.
That was a nice one.
And Dan refused to bet on my spite bet because he only bets on love.
I only bet on love. I would have won on spite, though.
Yes.
So while baseball was going on, Dan and I played another bingo session at 1 o'clock without Matt, but it was kind of uneventful. And after that, we played on their Palace has like a stadium video casino game machine, which is not something they had the last time we were in Poker Palace. So it was kind of a new thing. But according to John Mahaffey of VegasAdvantage.com, that's a machine that he's actually been tracking all over town. Like it was at Paris and then Horseshoe and Rio. And each place only lasted like a couple of months. And for a while now, it's been at Poker Palace. And it's one of those, it's a very small stadium game. It's only got 4 seats, but it's got 4 different games you can play, from roulette, blackjack, Texas Ultimate Hold'em, which is what we played. And then what was
3-card poker?
3-card poker. That's the 4th game. Correct.
Each dealt by a lovely woman.
Each dealt by a lovely virtual woman.
That's right.
On a short video loop. But I wonder where that machine's going to go next, because Poker Palace now is closing. Yeah. So the Ultimate Hold'em game is actually a pretty good game for the player. So and you can bet only $1 at a time if you want, or $2 actually. So it might be interesting to find out where that machine ends up.
And I should point out, I chose not to play bingo again because I honestly thought if Burt won another jackpot, there would be blood, and I didn't want to be anywhere near it. I really
I was honestly, if he had won, I was ready to knife him.
Well, speaking of that, when we sat down for the second session, so this is the next session after I'd won the jackpot, we sat down to play, and the first game that came up, I sort of spaced it off again. I don't know what I'm doing at bingo, but the first game is an X. And I was just thinking about diagonals. And so I got a diagonal bingo, but not an X, but just a diagonal bingo. And I shouted out bingo. And before I could even raise my eyes up to the employees, I realized my mistake. And I said, no, it's not right. But still, without having a bingo, I yelled out bingo. And that was quite the faux pas.
That was a faux pas.
Yeah, not only that, all of them then wondered, was he full of crap the first time around?
Of course.
Did he actually have a bingo the first time? This guy is an idiot.
He doesn't know anything.
There's bingo at 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 on Fridays.
No, they cut out the 3 and 5s.
No. Oh, that's right. They did cut out the 3 and 5. But the same people are at the 9, 11.
9.
Yeah, but the same people were at all of them. Or a lot of the same people. So they knew Burt, and they were watching him.
Oh, for sure. 100%. Yeah. And it was the first game out of the box that I just yelled out bingo after probably like the 6th ball came out or something.
You just say bingo every single game. No, I'm just kidding.
No, this time I mean it.
They take their game seriously.
They
bingo
take
callers are so
Absolutely.
serious. They validate everyone, and then they say this phrase, are there any more winners? Hearing and seeing no more winners, this game is closed. And they say it the same way every time. It's like... It's super official because I'm sure people get pissed.
It's almost like you're getting married to a bingo.
You know what? It's like being an actuary. It's something about stamping the things. It's like, I found it kind of dull, but also kind of exciting.
All right, so now it's getting to be about 2 p.m. after the baseball, and we're getting hungry, so we decided to have lunch in the cafe once again. Now, early in our explorations, we had noticed a secret alcove that housed a much fancier, if you can call it that, dining area.
Yeah, it was fancy.
And so when we went there for lunch,
it was blocked off.
But it had been blocked off at the time. So when we went there for lunch, we asked if we could be seated in there. And so how would you describe the reaction of the staff when we asked to be seated
Reluctant.
in the fish room?
Flummoxed.
Yeah.
They also didn't know.
Shocked, a
What
little bit of
happened is
shock. Like, who would dare ask such a thing?
Yes.
But what happened is after breakfast, we saw it coming out of breakfast and said, let's sit in there for lunch. And they said, if you talk to this person or that person, they can get you in there. So when we came back for lunch, we're like, hey, can we do it?
And he had to ask his boss. He goes, I got to ask my boss, see if it's okay. And so they scurried off and they said you could sit in there. And
they actually kind of said no, but okay. Like they let us know it was definitely bending the rules.
And nobody else got to sit in there except for the employees. Nobody else got to sit in there. It was just us in there. And we had our own fish tank full of fish, clean.
It was
live
fish tank.
Fish even.
Live fish. It's live.
For the Poker Palace, pretty swank room. I mean, it's got like the plaster on the walls made everything kind of curved. There was the aquarium. Everything's painted in blue. There were
statue
some
of Neptune.
Holding an American flag.
Yes.
Yeah, like if you had seen this room in any other casino in town, just about, you'd be like, what are they doing here? They haven't touched this room for decades. But in Poker Palace, it is the fanciest place. In fact, one of the employees we talked to later actually had their wedding reception in the fish room, which is awesome. I think is absolutely fantastic.
Which is what we learned it was called. They call it the fish room.
Yep.
The fish room, because it has fish.
And there are only
a very nice
booths.
fish tank. Yeah.
They're tall booths around the round wall in there. Very, very cool room.
A few statuettes of dolphins and a few of them that apparently are missing because the stands are there, but the statuettes are not.
But it was fun to eat in there. It was fun to discover that little hideaway and to get to eat in there and stuff. It was cool.
To me, that was the best part of lunch. I ordered a buffalo chicken sandwich.
Oh, that's right.
And they put
you ordered a buffalo sauce sandwich with chicken.
With chicken on top, yeah. Chicken somewhere in there.
It was glowing it was glowing brighter than the neon on the sign outside.
It really was. It was pretty damn disgusting. Pretty close to inedible. And I've had some really good buffalo chicken sandwiches too, so this was very disappointing. What'd you guys get?
I had a patty melt with onion rings. Not particularly good, either of them, but very delicious because we guilted Burt into paying for lunch after he hit his huge jackpot.
Oh, that's right.
It's true. I had a cup of soup, chicken noodle soup,
grilled cheese,
and a grilled cheese. That's what I had exactly.
How was the grilled cheese?
Yeah. So it was like a small boy's lunch. It was good. It was fine. It was just fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
I
was happy to treat for lunch after. Yeah.
So after lunch, it's 3:00 about. We have an hour to kill before the blackjack tables open. We're still under halfway, which is kind of nuts.
Just barely, though.
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah.
Right, so these guys played more stadium game. I played the blackjack.
Yeah, we were just killing time until the blackjack tables opened up, and then they did open about 4:00. So then we played.
I was playing blackjack in the
blackjack.
stadium machine for $1 a hand and made about $10 using Phil's strategy. My brother Phil, who would only bet on prime numbered games, so I did that. I bet on whenever the number of turns since a blackjack had been dealt to a player was a prime number. I bet on that game.
Ah, interesting.
And that's how I won
that's the system you're using.
$10. That was the system.
You've cracked. You know what? Forget counting cards. You've got the system.
It's all
we're gonna
about
have to edit
prime
that out of
numbers.
the podcast, or you might be banned from every casino in Las Vegas.
Could be.
See if this guy plays the third and seventh hands. If he does, bounce him.
All right. So you made big money at the machine. How did you do once we got to the live tables?
Down, I think. I don't think I did well. Actually, I came about even, but I didn't want to lose a lot more money. It's fun playing live tables. It's great playing live blackjack, and the $3 was up and down like blackjack is. But once I got down about $10, maybe $20, I decided to stop. You guys went
and there's
for longer,
a couple of the live dealers that we know that we recognize, and they recognize us, when we come in because we're a little unusual for the place, and so that's fun to see them and to play live blackjack. It's always better than a dumb machine.
One of them swears that we're her favorite customers, and I believe that. I don't think she says that to anyone else ever.
No.
She says we're her favorite customers, but I don't think I've ever had a dealer be a bigger cheerleader for me than her. She's a huge cheerleader for you.
Absolutely delightful,
Yeah,
actually,
she's
as a
so
dealer.
nice.
She's fun.
No question.
And she's been there 18 years. She said
Is that
she's been
right?
there
I didn't
18
realize
years.
that.
Yeah, she almost teared up when I said, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
She was very emotional about it, and she's been there every time I've ever been there.
Same.
I think this is too when we were looking at, there was a kind of a glowering pit boss at the time. This woman who was, I don't know if it was just her face or if she was just kind of like, she seemed to be glowering. And when I got up from the table, I kind of sidled over just to chat her up a little bit. And so I asked what she was going to do when the place closed. And I could tell that she was emotional about it, but she very quickly said, I don't want to talk about it, or I don't like talking about it. But just given a space, she started to talk about it, saying like, I'm going to be okay. And, just kind of putting a positive spin on it or trying to be optimistic about her future.
Well, it was part of that afternoon that the employees at the Poker Palace were either overly friendly to us or quite standoffish toward us. And it was hard to figure out why that was going on. And it was just kind of weird. Some were very, very friendly and going out of their way to help us, and some were the exact opposite. And she was kind of on that other end of the spectrum. She wasn't rude, but she was also, we had one shoe. It was a 6-deck shoe, so it was not a great game, but it was a $3 3-2 double on any 2 or 3 cards game. So in a lot of ways is good. But one shoe, the first 2/3 of the deal was all 4s and 7s and 6s and 5s. The deck got so rich in 10s that even I was raising my bet, and Burt was managing his bets and varying them. And she was watching him like, what the hell is he doing? She was on to him. Yeah.
That's what was going on.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome for distracting her.
Yes. Thank you for that. So, we spent a little time at the blackjack tables, and then it was getting time for the poker tournament, which was our next big event.
That's
and,
right.
So we got an early bird buy-in over there that got us a few extra chips. And then we had a pregame chat with Gingy, our advertising buddy, who did such a great job helping us with our big ad buy that we had described
our mobile ads
last month. Yes, our mobile ads that had gone around town and had really just raised the profile of the podcast by leaps and bounds.
Oh,
Millions
of people potentially saw those ads on his bicycle.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Gingy had us a lot more other ideas, right, that he broached to us. And
does. And we're
the,
not ready. We're still like trying to manage the influx of fans because of the last advertising campaign, but he threw a lot of new ideas in the hopper, and we're going to let him bounce around and figure out what we can do next. We want to do something big, and Gingy's the guy with those ideas.
He's got a million ideas for sure, and a lot of them are really quite smart when we're ready to take advantage.
Yep.
So he's somebody who will talk to you for a while if you let him. So we registered, since Burt was indisposed with Gingy, we registered him in the poker tournament and signed him up as Juicy Fruit Gumball because that was his nickname for this trip.
I hope all of you have watched
Babs.
and listened to the Fever Pitch episode, which is the episode released just before this. It's a terrible movie that's very fun to watch. So give it a listen and give it a watch if you get a chance. Yeah.
And so I quickly volunteered. I said, Bert, I'll go sign you up. So I could sign him up as Juicy Fruit Gumball. And the poker room manager looked at me and goes, Juicy Fruit Gumball? I don't think we're going to call him that. And I said, please do. Please do. And he said,
he was a little gruff with us too and didn't want to play along.
Well, he's gruff with everyone. Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
He's a great guy, but he refused to do that.
He deals with a lot of stuff, so I understand him being pretty rough with people and pretty gruff and very by the books.
So Matt, why don't you very briefly just tell people what the structure of the tournament is and what the the kind of play and that sort of stuff.
So what's
it like?
For $20, you get 4,000 chips. For $25, you get 5,000 chips. If you sign up at least a half hour in advance, you get 6,000 chips for your $25. It's no limit hold'em. So 6,000 chips is a small stack, and you start at 100 blinds, meaning that the two players each put in 100 to start each hand. And every 15 minutes it goes up, and it goes up fast. So by the time you get to the third round, a half hour in, you're putting in $600 every round. You're putting in a $400 and a $400 big blind and a $200 small blind. So you're basically putting in a tenth of your stack every time around, and it becomes a shove fest very quickly. So if you're going to do any real clever plays, you're doing them in the first couple rounds unless you build your stack. Otherwise, you are either shoving and praying, or you're shoving and bullying small stacks, and that's how the tournament goes.
Or shoving and rebuying, and then
shoving and
again.
rebuying. You can rebuy for the first hour for another $20 or $25.
Yeah, unlimited times.
And there's an add-on of 3,000 for $10 after the hour if you need it. And additionally, I guess you can top up at any time you have less than 5,000 chips. I didn't realize that, and just rebuy on top of your chip stack. It goes very fast. It's a lot of pre-flop poker. You're not playing a lot of hands after the flop. Very aggressive. For my strategy is always just to sit and wait for a big hand, because there are lunatics. A guy we played blackjack with who got very mad and stormed away from the table because Dan did not bet the royal match when a royal match hit, was also in the poker tournament. And later that evening, he called my all-in with ace-queen with his 6-3.
Right.
They were suited.
There you go.
But he gave me a huge number of chips because he was just a gambler.
Some people play, it looks like they'll just buy in a lot, or they'll just buy in a large stack.
Yeah, they rebuy
start
many
bowling
times
from the start.
and wait to double up for sure.
Yeah, and so I sat there in shock after that ace queen hand. I was just like, what was that guy thinking? And the guys around me, everyone else knows each other. Everyone there plays with each other except for us. And everyone around me goes, oh, he plays that like every time. He's an idiot. He's a maniac. He's a maniac.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's beyond maniac. But anyway, I can see shoving with 3-6, calling with 3-6 is pretty weird. But anyway, it was to my benefit. It is a well-run tournament, especially for $25. It's fantastic.
When we first become started, better run, and there's new felts on the tables and stuff. It's definitely a better situation than they had been, a couple of years ago and stuff. So
and I would estimate with rebuys there were close to 50 players in the tournament.
Yeah,
and with rebuys probably another 30. People rebought probably about 30 times. So you've got about 80 buy-ins in that tournament. So the prize pool actually gets pretty decent.
They were holding to rules this time. There wasn't so many breaches of etiquette and stuff, right. And they, of course, have posted rules. I thought it was pretty great.
I will say, one of the rules is you have to speak English at the table, and there was not one word of English spoken at my table. It was 100% Spanish, and I was fine with that. But
the rule is
the rules are a little bit fast and loose. You
can't speak anything but English when cards are on the table. And at least on my table, there were people speaking Spanish, but only between hands. So I appreciated that. Yeah,
I think they're a little looser with the rules just because of it's a $20 game or $25 game.
Of course,
and
yes.
That's what there are no pros in this tournament outside of Gingy. Maybe it's everyone that's just coming to kill a few hours and maybe get lucky.
I think I was the first out. It was after the break. I was happy to have made it to the break. I was just trying to sit quietly, show no tells. I had hit one flush, got terrible cards the whole time. Finally went all in against someone with a much bigger stack. He called, and I busted out. You definitely were not the first out. There were plenty of people that got knocked out before the break. I meant the first out among us, among the three of us. Oh, among us, yes. Yeah, and Matt, you finished better than any of us. How did you do?
I finished in the money. I was blessed with a phenomenal number of pocket aces. On one hand, I hit quads. I flopped aces full of jacks. So I got very lucky. And like I said, this was a shove fest. So you got great hands. And if you hit them, you're going to make a lot of money. So I did. So I finished. I made the final table. They were going to pay $6, but once you get to the final table, you can negotiate with others at the table and see if everyone just wants to chop the whole prize pool. I was probably middle stack by the time we got to the final table. Most of the tournament I was at the big stack, but I started fading toward the end. I was bored. You guys were done. You guys had gone to play bingo again, and then you guys were just hanging out. And I was like, "Are you guys bored? Do you want to go you want to go somewhere else?" Because I knew you couldn't go anywhere for several more hours, but. I made it through 2 breaks, made it to the final table, and we ended up, with much urging from me, we ended up all chopping the prize pool and each taking home $140. So my $25 buy-in
Not too
was
shabby.
$140, $10 tip to the dealers.
And there was a lot more skill involved than my video poker or bingo wins. Let's say that.
I'll say the guy that chased me out of the poker had bought in maybe 6 times, so he made $20 maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that. He was at the final table.
So we talked a little bit about the improvements the poker room has made, and we also talked with the poker room managers currently, Tim and Erica, about what they've done with the poker room and how they feel
Good
about
people.
the rumored changes Poker Palace is about to go through. So let's take a listen to some of the things they had to say.
One of my friends told me about this place, so I started playing, and it was the weirdest setup, and I'm like, why is this here? What happened to this level? And what? And I was sitting here in this spot, and Tamika was there. Oh yeah. And I'm like, this is just the weirdest tournament I've ever played in. And I played a couple of times, 2-3 times, and then one time I said to her, I'm like, listen, if you need help with this tournament, I can help you. I can make this place into what you really want it to be. And it took 2 months or something to convince the owner to actually hire me. And then once I got hired, we turned this place into this.
Right.
What makes the players unique is a lot of them don't know how to play poker. And a lot of them are very unorthodox when they play. Honestly, the reason why I stopped playing and wanted to work here, I had pocket aces, I went all in, I got called by a 10-3 offsuit, and he hit a 2-pair. I'm like, so it was, me working here was kind of like, oh, I win every tournament, right? So, which is nice. But what makes this place different than any other place, it's got a home game feel, and everyone's like friends and family, and we're very welcoming here. It's not overwhelming. When you go to a big casino, it's very overwhelming to a lot of people.
And I think that's what's so sad about the closing is that you're breaking up a community right now. You're bringing, so many families come together. We have generations that play, people that have been playing since, for the last 20 years. And you're taking away their weekend.
30, 40 years they've been playing.
Yeah, it's sad to see, and we have a petition going on, and one of the customers put that together, so it's everybody's trying to get it signed and say just keep the poker room, so everybody's getting involved and everybody's talking to each other about where are we going to go next, where are we going to play, because they want to continue to play together, and it's really sad that they're breaking up that community.
Here's the thing with this place. There's no other poker room around, anywhere. All of them have closed. I don't know if there are other bingo halls also within the area. And a lot of people come here to play. They come specifically to play poker and to play bingo. And a lot of them, they go during the breaks and whatever, they go out and they play slots. Now, if you close both of those, all of those people who come specifically for that will not even come, even to check it out. And I don't think they understand that. There's a lot of reasons to keep, even if you're losing money, you're bringing the people in. And they could easily if they just raise the prices like I've been wanting to for the tournaments, even a little, we'll come out ahead. Just a little will come out ahead, but.
I find it interesting that even us closing has affected the other poker rooms throughout the area, because all of our people are talking about where are they going to go, Westgate, they are closest to one of the lower end cost. They've already raised the cost of their poker tournament because they know we're going to close and they're going to get an influx of people. I think another South Point has also increased their buy-ins. So it's amazing how us closing is affecting other rooms.
Yeah.
But we may not be as big on following all the rules when it comes to poker. You know, we're again very much more of a lax home game.
Yeah.
But over the last year, I think we've really tried to make this place
very more friendly.
more friendly to newcomers, abiding by the rules of poker.
Our
and the
main
game.
thing also is we want this we want people to feel safe here. You know, and there are some people who feel that because this is Poker Palace or
Where
you
it's
know
at.
where it's
It's dangerous, but it's not. You get in here and it's such a welcoming environment.
Yeah.
We're friends with everybody here. Security is amazing. Everybody from the cage to the poker room to being like every department. We all know each other. It's a great environment. So again, we're all sad to like lose each other, but it's been such a welcoming environment for the whole community and all the guests and patrons. You know them like you know what their drink order is and you know how they're gonna play and.
People have been asking me where I'm going to go next because they want to follow me, and I don't know.
Anything else you want to ask? No. Just thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I wish we could come again.
Yeah.
Thanks for the time, guys.
Of course.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Anytime.
So as Matt's finishing up the poker tournament, Dan and I decided to play bingo one more time, their last session of the night. And I convinced Dan to get the big rainbow pack that had twice as many cards on it.
And there's a San Francisco thing there too, like the rainbow pack. It's very San Francisco, so yeah.
And but little did we know that whoever's running the evening session, that 9 o'clock session, is maybe had a plane to catch or something because they went super hyper fast. So now Dan had to mark twice as many cards, and the caller was going about twice as fast as we were used to from earlier in the day, and it was like really
B5,
hard to keep up.
N44, 063, like that fast. Like you're like,
and you're trying to find that on 12 cards.
You're trying to find that on 12 cards.
Well, also, didn't a lot of people have digital cards at that point? The computers
A lot of people had digital cards, which I think most people did, which is probably why they go ahead and do that. The other thing is that the evening sessions are much more popular, and so there's so many people and so many cards out there that the winners happen really fast. Like earlier in the morning, it would go for a while and you'd be like, God, I can't believe nobody's won yet. And you feel like you've always got a chance because nobody's winning right away. And, you know, you're just a mark or two away from winning a jackpot. Whereas in the evening sessions, you have to hit every number that's called out because someone is going to hit really fast. And that's what happened.
Yeah, there were some of those.
It wasn't that fun because you didn't, at least for me, you didn't get close to winning, and it just went so fast you couldn't take a breath.
But I think the two of you have now found what retirement's going to be for you. It's going to be a lot of bingo and Wordle.
Bingo and Wordle, yeah. Bingo.
I like
Wordle
that.
only takes a few minutes.
Yeah.
But bingo could be it. I think the first two games of bingo, I was like, this is kind of fun. After that third one, I think I'm done. I don't need to play any more bingo.
Same. I think there was our first day of playing bingo and probably our last day, and I'll squirrel away my bingo profits for life.
And again, call our stink line if you want a dauber. I have extra.
So about this time as Matt's finishing up the poker tournament, it's just after 10 p.m., which means we still have over 5 hours left to go in our challenge.
Christ.
I'm exhausted even just thinking about it. So let's take one more break here on the podcast. But when we return, we've got a lot more to talk about. We'll review the Palace's $3.99 all-you-can-eat spaghetti and offer an appropriate cocktail pairing. So if you guys have any ideas for that, make sure you share it with us. We'll describe bumping into the Queen of Poker Palace, Miss Kelly, and we'll chat with more locals and reveal why going forward there are no more pets. Stick around.
The new Park Hotel and Casino continues to offer dining values in the patio buffet. Our daily brunch is only $3.95. The popular evening prime rib buffet is a value at $4.95. And the Sunday champagne brunch is a reasonable $5.95. The beautiful garden room features evening specials beginning at a low $5.95. Our evening dinner menu has a variety of entrees to satisfy every appetite. From baked halibut to prime rib, you'll find dining value in the park.
And we've returned. We've been talking about our recent trip to the Poker Palace, where we spent 24 straight hours inside its castle walls. And about 10:30 p.m.
Let me ask you guys this. We've always said, hey, if I hit $1,000 jackpot or if I win a poker tournament, how do you guys want to celebrate? And we always said, all you can eat spaghetti and a rum punch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've always said.
That's what we always say. And this was the first time we were able to take advantage of it.
For $8, $7.99.
Well, you can't spend your whole $1,000 jackpot on it, No. But right now it's about 10:30 p.m. and we started to hear some rumors that the restaurant was going to be closing early. Of course, Poker Palace, they opened 3 hours late, closed 2 hours early.
Apparently the cashier had shit to do.
And so sure enough, that rumor about them closing early was true. So we ran over there and asked if we could get seated so we could dig into the maligned $3.99 all-you-can-eat spaghetti special. And they actually allowed us to. They were trying to close, but they said, "Yeah, we'll take you." So they sat us in the restaurant.
We were the only.
We were.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right.
And I'm sure they did not appreciate that, but we were the only ones seated, and we were getting all you can eat.
Yeah, and they didn't mind it at all.
No.
They didn't seem to mind it. They were very
our
friendly
waiter
with
was
us
great.
and didn't try and boot us out early or anything like that.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of the $3.99 special? Dan, you got something else, right?
I did. I was just trying to take it easy on my stomach, and I just felt like breakfast, so I actually got a short stack of pancakes, which are just a different form of dough, essentially.
They smelled good, though.
They smelled great. They tasted good. They were nice.
And it was
generous. It was interesting.
Pancakes.
They were more expensive. Yeah, I thought a short stack would be 2. It was 3 large pancakes, and it couldn't finish them once again.
And the spaghetti was better than I expected. Yeah, I had very low expectations, admittedly, but the spaghetti was better than I expected. It came with
$3.99,
a decent
all you
sauce.
can eat.
Yeah, for $3.99. And
there are some
cheese
rules,
on top.
though, as you'd expect.
Right.
You can see it sit and eat for 60 minutes. There's no sharing. It's 4 p.m. to close. It's $3.99. It comes with garlic toast. Garlic toast was pretty tasty. Yeah.
We got seconds on the garlic toast.
And they brought out the spaghetti, and they brought each of us an extra bowl of bolognese in case we wanted ours more wetter, which was great. And it was a generously meaty sauce. Not the best sauce in the world, but not bad. Perfectly adequate and plenty of something that looked like Parmesan cheese.
The food there was perfectly adequate.
Yeah, and then they had that rum punch special, and so it seemed like the chef must have put that on as a special so it would pair perfectly with the spaghetti. How did you feel like it paired the notes of the rum punch with the bolognese sauce?
Yeah. The sweet tropical flavor of a rum with a Italian bolognese, just perfect. Unexpectedly delightful.
I dipped my garlic toast into the rum punch, and I felt like that was the way to go. I would do that again.
God.
And then he dipped my garlic toast in the rum punch. Yes, he did. It was, it was quite the pairing, quite the colorful cocktail. We'll put pictures of that up. Burt could hardly wait.
And you guys asked.
Yeah. Oh, we did.
You asked what the record was for the all-you-can-eat, because you guys stopped after one bowl.
That's true. We weren't really that hungry, but we did want to just try the $3.99 special. And what did the waiter say? Was the record 6?
5
bowls of spaghetti?
5 bowls in an hour, no sharing.
Yeah, and Gingy's told us he can do 3.
Okay.
I'm sure he could.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that there are some rules with the spaghetti. there are a lot of rules all over Poker Palace.
All
and we're gonna,
over Poker Palace.
Mostly
some
things you
photos of their
cannot
signs.
do.
Yes.
They should rename the place the Rule Palace.
Yeah, clearly the clientele at the Poker Palace needs a lot of
Direction.
rules, needs a lot of instructions, directions, and told things not to do in order to behave properly
No
in there, because there are a
shaking the
lot of
machines.
signs.
No wiggling, no cracking.
No credit. Yeah.
Don't dump your coins here.
So as we left dinner, now it's getting past 11 o'clock, and as we were finishing dinner, we had just talked about that. In our previous trips to the Poker Palace, we met the Queen of the Poker Palace, and on this trip, we were there for 24 hours and didn't see her at all. And wouldn't you know, just as we're leaving the restaurant, here comes Miss Kelly.
Miss
Now,
Kelly the Queen.
Dan, Miss Kelly the Queen. Now, Dan, this was your first meeting with the Queen of Poker Palace.
That's right.
We know that she likes to give out horoscopes. How did your reading go?
She can tell your horoscope. She can tell your sign right away just by looking at you.
Right.
So,
It's
yeah.
only a few guesses.
Yeah.
Usually less than 10.
And I think she just names them off the top of her head. Maybe alphabetical order. I didn't notice.
Not always, but usually less than 10.
Usually less than 10.
You making me feel like you might be an Aries or a Gemini.
You don't have much to go on because you're just meeting me. So
Yeah, but she can sense
What are
vibe.
you, a Capricorn?
No.
Okay, I know what you are, Mr. Libra.
Close.
Scorpio.
Bam!
So,
She's good.
No,
Alright,
shame,
Scorpio.
shake it, baby.
Scorpio's got the sting.
Hey, but I'm Leo, I'm the queen.
You are.
I'm the leader of all zodiac signs. When you first meet me, you might judge me, but God said do not judge.
I do not
In the end, you love me, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
And did she tell your fortune or say anything about you or your personality based on her reading of your
Kind of
horoscope?
just like you could tell that I was a Scorpio just by looking at me. But she didn't give me any betting tips, unfortunately.
Now,
Okay.
Miss Kelly is a force of nature. Miss Kelly
is.
sang for us. Miss Kelly
Yes.
danced for us, and
Yes,
she
she
does
did.
both. She does both far better than I could ever do them.
Same.
And she's lived an interesting life.
She shakes her boot tray.
She worked at Poker Palace for a time
She absolutely
and told us
shakes
a
her
little bit
booty.
about
yeah.
how things were run there when she worked there years ago.
That's right.
the way
Now
she
she's
ran
just
things.
yeah, exactly. And now she's just a favored customer
Yes.
because she's the queen of the Poker Palace.
And we talked to her for quite a while, and we got a nice photo with her. And she would love to be on the show at some point, and we need to figure that out because she'll be on.
We just
this
have to make sure
episode.
she doesn't curse.
Yes.
So Dan, maybe you can mention what she might say if she didn't want to curse on the podcast.
I showed her a photo of one of my bingo cards because I had used the dauber to spell out the word shit over the bingo
That's
card because I
right.
hadn't won. And I showed it to her and she said, "Sugar honey iced tea." So if you need to curse, you instead
you
of
say,
saying the word, you say sugar honey iced tea.
"Boy, that's some bull sugar honey iced tea."
Honey iced tea.
That's it. Yep.
And she uses that in business situations where she's not allowed to curse.
Right.
So,
right.
Smart. I can curse whoever I want because
But it's always a delight and a pleasure to meet Miss Kelly, and it's especially a delight and a pleasure when you have 24 hours at the Poker Palace and you need to fill some of it.
That's right. That's right. She helped fill some of that time because about this time we still had like 4 hours remaining in our challenge, and there was
Yeah.
not a lot to do. Like,
and it was starting to get a
feeling
little
pretty
scary.
blackjack was closing down,
Oh, I
the
don't
restaurant
think
was closing
so.
down.
I might have been
You don't think
high on my poker victory, which neither of you mentioned, by the way. That yes, that the spaghetti was generous, the rum punch was generous, your pancake serving was generous, and so was Matt, who paid for dinner.
That's right. Matt
That's
picked
true.
up the $22 tab.
I did.
It was it was $22. You're right. I was gonna get mad at you, but no, that's right.
Yep. Thank you for dinner, Matt.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt.
You know, which is interesting because one beer at the Circa Lounge was $22.
No, it was 11.
No, it wasn't. It was 11.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, one beer
Some of the
pretty much
cocktails,
anywhere
I'm
on the
sure, were
strip
over
is
20.
$22.
It's true.
So anyway, now there's about 4 hours remaining in the challenge after we left Miss Kelly, and there really was not a lot to do with the restaurant
Blackjack
closing down.
table's
There's
still
no more
open.
bingo. Yeah, blackjack table was still open for a little bit longer, but the sports book was closing down.
Well, I love this part too, as we were talking to the employees and people, and we found out why they let us eat in the fish room. Apparently,
Or let us eat after the dining room was closed.
yeah, yeah, maybe that too.
So
Apparently,
some rumors have been swirling.
that there were rumors that we were the new owners. We were representing the new owners of the casino, which I guess would make sense considering how out of place we looked and that we're white and looked like we could be tech bros or something. I don't know, but it was like...
I would never describe us that way, but...
no, probably not.
That's how I can afford to buy a casino, is by buying my socks at the Dollar General.
Yeah.
None of us looked in any way like we were
Anything
businessmen.
like it.
And we're playing. Imagine how mad they were if the new owner hit the jackpot at bingo.
Bingo. I know, totally. I was going to say, if I would have told anyone in a heartbeat, like, I wish we were the new owners because we'd keep this place exactly as it is.
Yes.
We'd fix the holes in the ceiling and the
That's
rest
it.
of it can just stay. Yeah.
And maybe a few buttons on the machines, but only a few.
The other thing too
can't
we
do
haven't
them all.
mentioned. The other thing we haven't really mentioned is the ebb and flow of the day, and we had been over the hump. Like when the poker game is going and bingo is going and the blackjack tables are going, the place is hopping. It's loud.
Yeah.
People are having a good time.
People everywhere.
It's a very good casino.
Absolutely.
But now
Yes.
we're over that hump. The last bingo of the night is over. The sportsbook is closed. The poker room is down to just the live cash games, which
games,
actually were still going at 3:20 when we left.
When we left,
Yeah.
they were still going. Yep.
Blackjack is waning, and it's starting to get a little quieter, which also affects us because our energy goes with the crowd, and as the people leave and it starts to get emptier, you can start to feel it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was
and we're
actually
just getting
at this
tired
point
by that point.
Yeah.
really tired, and my body was starting to involuntarily shudder a little bit. I was having spasms of tiredness, starting to really struggle to stay awake at this point.
Thank God that we brought our own popcorn.
That's right.
So
thank you, Matt.
So the
That
Poker
as well,
Palace.
thank you for.
Poker Palace is the only casino in Las Vegas that I know of that has a microwave on the casino floor. It's intended for if you buy the beef ravioli, the Chef Boyardee beef ravioli out of the vending machine. But if you happen to have 3 packs of popcorn in your pocket, you can microwave it and eat it right there on the casino floor.
You planned ahead very well.
After the poker tournament, I was just kind of hanging out in the sports book, railbirding the live cash poker game, and Dan and I were sharing a bag of popcorn, and one of the players, he goes, "I smell popcorn," and as soon as he said that, I lowered the popcorn so they couldn't see it, and the lady next to him looks at me and she goes, "Like, you're crazy." So then I shook it and tried to really get that popcorn smell on the table.
It was good popcorn too.
It was good, yeah. It was good, but that's a way to kill 2 minutes of your 24 hours just waiting for the popcorn to pop. Actually,
eating popcorn.
And we were counting the minutes.
Keep us up too.
Actually, about 14 minutes because it took 12 minutes for Dan to figure out how to work the microwave.
That thing was a crappy micro. Anyway, I don't know microwave.
It was great.
So.
Yeah, and but we were really counting the minutes, especially the further we got, the closer. I was literally looking at my watch every 2 minutes and trying to get to the end. But we filled a lot of this time because there weren't games by talking to employees, talking to customers and stuff. And,
That's right.
Heard a lot of really nice stories and a different perspective kind of on what most people think of as Poker Palace who have never been there or think it's scary to go there or something. This is really like you said it early on in the podcast, it's a community center for many of these people. And they're going to lose that when this closes down and becomes something else.
It's really tender.
Yeah. It's maybe the least scary casino that I agree in Vegas.
It's so friendly. It's so friendly. Absolutely.
And there was something about the deepening relationship, just like being able to like meet people and talk to them for a while and see them around. And it's like everyone was really kind, and we're like, it got sadder and sadder for us, I think, to know that this place is closing down. Like, wow, this is actually a pretty cool place. Even the fact that they give so many free drinks and they're not stingy.
So generous.
They're really generous there.
Generous and friendly. Yes, absolutely. Not a single person said a, crossword
Like, this
to us
is
the
such
whole
a great
24 hours
example.
we were there.
Is it that poker, the pit boss, Angela, actually met her current husband at the blackjack table. He had lost his wallet, and that's how she got his phone number. Is she said they'd call when they found his wallet, and they did. And she called, and they started to date, and then had their wedding reception in the fish room. Like, there's something about like employees, players. It just everyone's friendly to everybody.
Yeah, and Angela could work many places in Las Vegas, but she said she liked working at Poker Palace because she didn't have to get dressed up. She didn't have to be fancy. And it was comfortable. And that's what I think of as, about Poker Palace now. It's so comfortable. It's just a comfortable place to be. And I think that's
it's like
the
your
case for all the
room.
people there.
It smells awful, but it is very comfortable. It's like a really comfortable pair of shoes. And you know what? There's no pretense there. And that's why I say it's like the friendliest, is because there are casinos on the Strip that intimidate me because everything's so expensive and everything's so strict and so formal, and like you can't go certain places unless you're wearing the right clothes, and there is no judgment, nothing like that at Poker Palace. You want to play there? Come on in. Like, they take us. We are not their demographic, but they're like, and everyone's super friendly to us, and they want to know what we're doing there, and then we're one of them. And it was really cool seeing people go off shift, and then 16 hours later, seeing them come back on shift and realizing they lived a whole life in those 16 hours while we were just futzing around their casino. and they'd all go, "You're still here." It's like, yep.
And I will say the Poker Palace may not be the best smelling casino in Las Vegas, but it does smell better than the west entrance of Binion's, which
oh my gosh,
the next day
that's
the worst smell. Boy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this is like the very end of the night. We sat back down at that the arena style video.
Yeah, I was just trying
to
stay awake by gambling a little bit.
The best part of that game is you could charge your phone there. They actually had USB ports, so you could sit and charge.
That was
your
a nice
phone.
little touch, actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't play. I was watching Burt play because at that point, my brain was not working well enough to make those card decisions on every hand.
Wow.
And walking, I could feel myself like listing as I walked. So I did have to get up and walk around a bit just to stay awake.
Same. Just had to wander around a little bit. And as we were sitting at that machine, one of the dealers, the blackjack dealer, again, it's just a woman on a loop. Maybe every 20 seconds or something, you see her, take her bets and look around. And it just loops over and over and over again. And you can hear her, or you can see her mouth the words, "No more bets," which nobody says at the blackjack table. But anyway, I said, I wonder if she's not saying "no more bets," but maybe something else, like "no more pets." And then we started saying that as she was in sync with her.
At 2:15 a.m., I thought was the funniest shit I had ever heard.
Me too. I got really fixated on voicing it, so that every time she actually said it,
"No more pets,
no more bets, no more pets." And then I was doing it for all four dealers, so it'd be like, "No more pets, no more pets, no more pets."
Yeah. Listeners, it's not that funny now. We understand, but you just have to understand it with a lot of sleep deprivation. Come back, maybe stay awake for 24 hours and come back and listen to this part again.
You'll love it. Yeah, you'll find it really funny. So even like 15 minutes to the end is when I started to open up my Uber app and look for a ride back.
Mm-hmm. And I went around and took a few more like final photos of stuff that I might have missed prior. And
so did Matt. Matt aimed the camera above in between the slot machines and caught a few like.
So there are banks of slots with a gap in the middle where they've mounted a sign saying, hot payouts or whatever. And so I put my camera down over that, and they are filled with probably 50 years worth of trash. Just trash upon trash upon trash. Cups. And then one of them was just this like snake's nest of cables that was like, not only probably would give someone in IT, so an OCD person in IT a heart attack, but also was probably extremely unsafe.
It looked like a fire hazard. It was just a spaghetti of extension cords.
Like hundreds of extension cords and cables and whatnot. And I assume the new owners are going to either fix that or do a better job of hiding it.
That's a photo we need to have on the Neon Gutter.
We do hope that kind of stuff gets cleaned up. But what are the rumors of what's going to become of the Palace?
Oh yeah,
the owners of the Palace also own Club Fortune in Henderson, and several other casinos throughout the state. And I believe everything they own is a slots only casino, as far as I can tell. Club Fortune used to have tables, and they got shut down a couple years ago. And so it's slots only. And what we heard rumors is that they're going to extend the bar, and the way they'll extend the bar is to cut it right through the poker room, meaning the poker room will be gone. And they are going to repurpose the bingo room. And
as an entrance, we heard.
Yes, yeah. And so it really looks like Poker Palace will not have poker. Poker Palace will not have live games. Poker Palace will just be yet another bland slot casino is what it looks like. Unimagined, boring slot casino, which the whole, with no bingo, which brings in probably half of their business. Those people are there for bingo and they stick around to play slots and to get hit on the head with stuff falling out of the ceiling.
Exactly.
Yeah. They may not make a ton of money on the bingo itself, but it brings in a ton of people who are regulars who come in and day out and spend half the day at Poker Palace.
It would be ridiculous not to cater to them because nobody except a local is going to drive out and go there. So it feels really like I hope the owners do the right thing and actually pay attention to who the actual clientele is.
And we'll post on the website. The Poker Room is passionate about staying open, and we're going to post on the website a petition that they've got, and I'm certainly going to sign it, and I hope you guys sign it, saying save Poker Palace. Yeah, save Poker Palace. That's extremely important to us to save that place, especially just the live games are the heart and soul of that place. It's not the slot machines.
For sure.
Which are all about to short circuit anyway as soon as somebody drops a cigarette ash on that extension cord.
Yeah.
So to that end, we know for sure it's going to close, at least for rehab, even if
September 29th.
It's not 100% sure what Poker Palace will reopen as. But where are we going to hang out in the meantime when Poker Palace is no longer our favorite place in town?
Jerry's.
And there's Jerry's Nugget.
Jerry's for
South
sure.
Point,
yeah, we like the craps game at Jerry's.
And the South
we like
Point.
The pie and the restaurant. South Point.
Maybe revisit Ellis Island, the Skyline. I feel
Ellis
like the Skyline is the closest spiritually to the Poker Palace. But even with a showroom, so I could see myself making an evening at the Skyline.
I think maybe Yosemite.
I feel it's less of a locals place and more of a tourist place for like people in RVs and stuff, but maybe that's not true. I haven't spent a ton of time in Skyline to know that, but they still have table games, which is nice, and they've got sort of a funky feel in terms of the decor and everything there.
Yeah.
I like Skyline.
But probably
and a huge
Jerry's
swimming pool.
Yes. I think what might be interesting is the Best Western out at the Hoover Dam, which has split its slot casino into 4 themes. Like there's a Mexican villa and an Asian Chinese area, and they've got 4 different themes under one roof, which is kind of interesting. But I don't know. There's really no equivalent left in Las Vegas.
Laughlin? Right. I mean, do we go to a different town? I know.
I think Laughlin. I think Laughlin is where the people too old for Henderson go. It's really awful down there.
Carson City. I mean, like we played a poker tournament in Carson City a long time ago. I wonder if there's any other towns in Nevada that would be worth going to. I don't know.
Wendover, the Peppermill in Wendover. No, because you want the bigger Las Vegas vibe. So I think it's probably Jerry's mostly.
And we talked about on the trip, like, what if we had a Neon Gutter casino? And I think, Matt, your retirement, this is what you got to do. You got to open the casino of our dreams.
It would be the Poker Palace. But if people want to get hit on the head with stuff, they've got to pay. You know, there's got to be odds. I've got to make at least 5% on that.
Any final thoughts?
A couple of thoughts. One is congratulations to you, Burt. I reserve my congratulations to Dan because at sunrise, around 6:20 a.m., we opened the doors.
Don't be a little bitch. Don't be a little bitch.
We opened the doors to take a picture of the sunrise from the Poker Palace, and one of us stuck his foot out the door. So he was technically out of bounds. Yes.
Oh my God. Are you both being little bitches right now?
That's my only mode, Dan.
And
Okay.
the worst part
You're
was then
forgiven.
a guy drives up in a car and he's got a very fancy cup of coffee for $10 that he sold to Dan as he was reaching out the
I
door.
wish. I did get a really good shot of a truck driving away with the reflection of the word palace in its rear view.
That was a good photo. Yeah.
Yeah. No, my final thoughts are that last 90 minutes were very hard. The first 22 hours and 30 minutes were very fun. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. The question is where.
Question is where. I will say that too. Like, it was not the hell I expected. It was actually quite enjoyable. And we actually left talking to each other. I thought we were all going to wind up taking different rides home. Like, I'm not riding with that asshole. But we were in the same car. We got back, crashed out. It was
a very quiet ride back to downtown.
It was.
Right.
And it was a quiet elevator ride up to our rooms at Main Street. But
that was amazing.
But it was another epic trip. And I went into it really kind of dreading the visit for 24 hours, but I came away really enjoying that we had done it. And
well, you guys were really good sports, and this is another example of make your own fun in Vegas. Don't expect them to do it for you. Make your own fun. We made our own fun. It was cheap. It was a cheap day in a casino, and we gambled a lot, and we had a blast.
Yeah. Even as probably overall loser between the three of us. Yeah, I was probably down. I'm still in the 2 digits as far as losses. And that was after 24 hours. So.
And I made a ton of money, which is the best case scenario.
Yeah. So anyone that wants to mug Burt, let us know. I will let you know exactly where he is.
He's probably put that money down at this point.
That's in the mattress already, so no worries.
Oh, right on.
All right, so another epic trip, guys. Thanks a lot for having me along with you. And as a not so little bonus, we also had the opportunity this weekend to bear witness to a true piece of Las Vegas history.
Yes.
After waking up on Saturday after our 24 hours, we got up early because we knew that our favorite toy horse handicapper, Ski, was going to be at the D to bet on his 20,000th race on Sigma Derby at the D. Can you imagine 20,000 races? What an amazing accomplishment. So we'll play a live call of that race coming up right immediately after the haiku here at the end of the episode. But just another quick thanks to everyone at Poker Palace who made our 24 hours not just bearable, but really fun and meaningful. And thanks to all of you for listening and offering support on social media as we were in the middle of it. It was really meaningful as well. We appreciate it a lot. So for the podcast, be sure to join us next time when we may not be at Poker Palace, but we will absolutely still be in the Neon Gutter.
Yes.
See you next time.
The cash won't last.
The Neon Gutter is a Big Empire production. Randy Shandis, executive producer. Our incredible theme music is courtesy of Rosin Coven. Do you have something to say? Call our voicemail line at 775-400-2941. And for more episodes, vintage photographs and video, contact info, and those amazing trip reports, visit us at neongutter.com.
Las Vegas haiku. 24 hours. Bull sugar honey iced tea. Bingo! Never mind.
All right, this is it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the 20,000th race of Ski's career as a gambling man of the track. This is a momentous occasion, something that's never been achieved before, and documented here on the Neon Gutter. This is important to bet with 1, 2, 26, 1, 3, 52, 1, 4, 6, 1, 5, 9, 2, 2, 17, 2, 4, yep, 2. And Ski, I'm turning it over to you to call the race.
All right, we're looking for 315. Anyone? 315.
Let's go, baby. The 3's got a huge lead. The rest of the
315, no 2, no 4.
Kind of falling behind. The 3 is definitely going to be in the money. Who will join it? 1, 2, 4, and 5 are all even, about 2 lengths behind as we come around.
Come on, make number 20,000 a good one. 315. No 2, no 4. No 2, no 4. No 2, no 4.
And the 5. It's going to be 3, 4. 4, 5. 4, 5. It is 4, 5. A disappointing
A 7 to 1, but you know what? It's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Congratulations. An exciting race nonetheless.
So now you're going to retire. That's the end of it.
No, now I got to get to 30.
40,000 race. 30,000.
40.
400,000 race.
Yeah, 400,000 would be good.
I'm sweaty, you guys. That was a big piece of recording.